Hi, this is Brenda Beattie from Brenda Beattie's Brush Strokes. In my family, there's Brenda Beattie, Bill Beattie, Betty Beattie, and Bruce Beattie. We're from Banff. Today, Brenda Beattie's Brush Strokes brings you the acrylic sunset. We're going to paint this. It's going to be great. The colors used are all listed at the bottom of the video. And there's only 4 brushes and a palette knife, so not much in the way of equipment. I'm painting on an 11 by 14 inch canvas, and I'm using the Ultramarine Blue, a little phthalo, and white. I go back and forth and bring some white in and blend it with the brush. I've sped it up a little bit for you so that it's a little more interesting. I'm bringing the white in now, and here I'm speeding it up. Now I'm using some white on one side of the brush and some of the Hansa yellow on the other side of the brush. I'm going back into my palette to get some more white. The sky will become lighter, closer to the horizon. I'm blending the colors right on the canvas. I'm using the synthetic brush. Quite a nice brush actually. It's a flat brush. I have a rough idea of where the horizon is going to be. It's right at the bottom of this scene. I'm adding a little permanent rose now, blending it into the yellow, which will bring a little orange in places. I'm putting my brush in some matte medium, and I'm looking at the photo that I used. I used the same photo for the watercolor version of this sunset. You can see that in another video of mine. I'm using my fingers now to blend the red in with the yellows. You could use a brush for this. I just really like to get my hands in there. On your palette you have Alizarin Crimson as well as the permanent rose. You can mix the 2 colors together and with a little white and with some yellow, and bring those colors into the clouds and blend them in. You'll find a little white in here will help you blend. And I have a pool on my palette with all the different reds now. I'm blending the red into the yellow in places. I'm going back to my palette, pick up some more of these new reds that I've mixed. There we go. So this is the Alizarin Crimson and permanent rose and white. And I have a little bit of yellow in there, Cadmium Yellow. I'm also going to use some Cadmium Yellow in with the yellow parts of the clouds. You have to think about clouds and layers of clouds and where the sun is hitting them as you do this. I want the sky at the top right corner to be darker with purplish gray tones. I'm using the reds that are left on my palette, blending them into the blue to create a purple tone. At this stage, the painting, I think, is comparable to a teenager. You may be completely surprised at how well it's going to turn out. Don't get discouraged at this stage. It is important to keep going and paint through those feelings of loss of confidence or pessimism. And ignore any negative comments you might get from others at this stage. It's really important for you to keep painting. Here I'm using Alizarin Crimson right from the tube, and I'm blending it in on the canvas. I am looking at my photo reference, but I don't want it to be an absolute copy. I just am using it for inspiration and to see how the light is catching the clouds. I've blended all my colors, the blues, the yellows, and the reds together until I got the kind of really dark brownish color that I wanted. I could have used black here, but when we use black it seems so dark, it seems like almost like you've created a hole in the canvas. And because I've used a mixture of paint, I can create some different variations and maybe show some trees that are in the foreground. This part's quite a lot of fun. So just we want to put a very lot of dark paint on the bottom, and then we'll use our smaller tiny little brush to put in the tops of the trees, some branches, and we'll also try to make some shadows. And remember that when you have trees, you'll also have some sky holes. You can always see a little bit of the sky behind the branches, so we'll put those in as well. This is really fun because this is where you find your painting is finally coming together. You can find out the difference between the contrast between the sky and the trees. It gives that really peaceful, beautiful feeling that we have at the end of the day when the sun is going down. So these are just the finishing touches that make it completed. And I think that's about it. So hope you enjoyed this. And give it a try. Here's the final piece, and I'll show you the photo reference. Here's the photo reference. I hope you give it a try. Have fun, be kind to yourselves, and don't forget to subscribe and press that bell button. Thanks for watching.